Whoa!
Oh no, you caught me touching my face.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did you wash your hands?
I'll wash it with the beer.
Yeah. Coors. Is that Coors like interacting with the green screen? What I thought?
No.
Yeah.
Is
No,
it?
maybe.
No,
I don't know.
it's not. Oh,
Is my green drink doing it?
yeah, just a little bit.
Whoa,
Just right there.
invisible.
How about that? Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Dalton already in the comments. Did y'all mention Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny last week?
That's because we have the magic of movies behind us.
I know.
And this is part of the movies.
Movie magic.
We did not mention Pick of Destiny. We should have. We also forgot to mention Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which I was very remiss about after we got done with the show. See? Oh, I told you right before we started, Johnny. I was like, dude, we could. I'm in Middle America, and we could do
the Wayne's
I'm in
Worlds.
Delaware.
Well, anyway, the reason we're in a green screen tonight is because we were utilizing the Speaker Lab studio equipment to do another charity live stream and at another location, not where we normally film the drive-in Speakerbox. But since we were here, since we ended about the same time, showtime o'clock, we thought we'd come up here and just chat with you guys, see what you guys have been up to. We're going to keep this short. We're going to keep this sweet. But we didn't want to leave you hanging a whole week without seeing our lovely faces.
Yeah.
So, what have you guys been watching? What have you guys been up to? I know it's been a week of quarantine. I've been plowing through Star Trek Voyager. I'm trying to finish it. I didn't want to finish it at first because I was like, I want to savor it, I want to take my time. But then I noticed the news that CBS All Access is going, hey, every episode of Star Trek ever streaming on CBS.
I'm getting worried they're going to take it away from Netflix where I can't watch it without CBS All Access.
That is the exact same. So I was like, I got to finish Voyager because CBS is going to be like, pay me.
Yeah,
and
I really don't care to watch Discovery ever. I will never care to watch it. And Picard, having seemingly undone the entire timeline that I have cared about since, the last 11 years, don't care to really watch that one either, despite Patrick Stewart and 7 of 9 and Riker and Troy and Brent Spiner. And I like how I went between different actors and characters there, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's true. But 7 of 9 was pretty cool in Picard, but she only had a bit part.
7 of 9's pretty cool. Oh, which, you know what? I was going through Facebook photos of my own earlier, and I saw the picture that I posted where the non-John Delancey Q is talking to Mind Child that Neelix dates.
Oh, yeah.
Blonde from the beginning.
I've been watching it, and I forgot her name because I hated her character so much.
He's the Q that wants to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, Johnny Dalton in the comments says that they're going to start a podcast called The Delta Flyers, talking about commentary on every episode of Voyager. Kess, it was Kess.
Yeah. Does that mean one of you is going to be Cool Boy? I just had his name.
Tom
Paris, and the other one's going to be
Harry Kim.
Sad Boy Harry Kim. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like never promoted.
I'm in love with every alien girl.
Yeah, but every time an alien kidnaps him to take him down to their like harem sex planet, Janeway is like, get off of that harem sex planet, Harry Kim.
He's like, this is my home now.
Yeah.
I want to be here forever where they touch my pee-pee.
Dude, I've met the actor that plays Harry Kim in real life. Super nice guy. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have him sign your booty?
No. It was just kind of in passing. He was away from his table, but he was still really gracious, super nice to talk to. Awesome. Just kind of caught him in passing, didn't hold him up or act like a nerd or anything like that.
Yeah, you never want to do that.
No.
Well, with CBS All Access doing that, there's a lot of stuff in the news. I mean, because we're so impromptu, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for the show. I hadn't even thought about it really, so I haven't been reading the news this week. But, CBS All Access putting all of those episodes on their platform, that the clock is ticking, just like it happened with Disney Plus. Just before Disney Plus really went live, they kind of pulled a lot of that content away from Amazon and away from Netflix and not so much Hulu because they own Hulu. But, Vudu, I think, is under contract for getting bought. I don't know if you heard about...
Vudu did get bought.
That's right. It was Walmart's platform.
Yes.
And they have sold that. And also right now in the news, AT&T in talks of purchasing Warner, like Warner Home Entertainment, which is monstrous. And you guys need to fight this because AT&T is the devil.
AT&T would then own DC, huh?
Mm-hmm. And you want to talk about like way too much, monopoly situations on our media. Yeah, Johnny says AT&T. Speaking of COVID-19, the OG plague. What was it?
Several,
Locusts and frogs and
firstborns.
yeah, and bad acting.
Wow, no,
what?
No,
I
unreal.
said
Before we
it.
move too far away from this Star Trek thing, I just want to point out Johnny over here just going ham on the Star Trek, talking about Tuvok tossing Neelix out the airlock like Jazz and Fresh Prince.
Oh, dude.
Which Uncle Phil actually plays a Klingon in Enterprise in a multi-part episode that's very good if you want to see Uncle Phil in Star Trek.
He's in the story, and he's also the voice of Shredder, for those of you in the know.
That's true.
McLean Tuning on YouTube says, very VHF vibe tonight. I don't know if you're talking about the signal of which you used to get television signals or the movie, which was UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, what is it? Conan the Librarian.
Yes, UHF used to be one of my all-time favorite movies. It's so good. It has the Wheel of Fish. You have the dude with the pet store or like the pet show in his apartment.
Kramer.
Yeah, you have.
He's in it.
All right.
That guy's. I think we're not allowed to like him anymore.
Michael.
Racist slur, whatever his name is.
No, that was so long ago. I think he's moved past.
Is he okay now? Can people like him again?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know how these things.
I don't know how. Yeah.
But anyway,
Michael Richards. That's his name.
Yeah, that's it. Michael
there
Richards.
We go.
I've got very Michael Richards hair kind of right now, which we're not going to really take a
That
good
means you
close
gotta
look
slide
at.
in that door every time.
Yeah.
you
Woo!
want. And then raid the fridge.
But again, for those of you just tuning in, we're not at the studio. I had a live event that I had to host using a lot of the Speaker Lab Studios software and equipment. So we just start doing something a little impromptu, a little fireside chat with you guys. Johnny Dalton says, I rewatched Smokey and the Bandit 2 today and noticed a lot of the similarities with that and Tiger King. It's there because it's about crazy backwoods redneck stuff. That's Tiger King. That's Smokey and the Bandit 2. I mean, what are your thoughts? As a big fan of Smokey and the Bandit, what do you think about Smokey and the Bandit 2?
Man, the sequels get kind of weird because they don't really make sense, and the jackets change, and the car changes, and the car's never quite as cool. But there is the one that just follows around Smokey, and they have that car with the shark on the roof there for a long time, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. That was 3 or later. But yeah, Smokey and the Bandit 1 is really the only one that you need to watch. Van said that he wanted to comment on us talking about the Stoned Age when we were going over our Reefer Addict movies last week. If you can only see one movie about pinging a stranger's ice cube tray.
That's the one.
Or drinking talls. They don't want regular sized beers. They only want talls.
This is a regular sized beer. I mean, we don't have talls.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, the boxes of regular sized beer equaled more ounces for less money than a sixer of talls, like I generally tend to buy. So
these are strange and challenging times for purchasing booze. So yeah, there you have it. John Dalton says Colleen Camp was in there. She also played Mrs. Vanderhoff in Wayne's World. Wayne's World, of course. On my other show that I do later with Jason Sewell, which is aired locally here on Fox 24. Every Halloween, I kind of get to write the whole show because I'm the Halloween guy, and we always do fun openings, and we wear costumes. And I really pushed heavily for Wayne and Garth one year. And
you would have to get the dude that has the vacuum suck on there so that you could be like,
sucks.
It certainly does suck.
Yeah, it sucks and it cuts, but it certainly does suck.
Yeah.
But I recreated the entire opening with the please stand by, public access television, and then we did the logo. And it was like, it's later with Jason Sewell. Yeah, it was.
When it came back, were you
party
like,
time? Yeah, we did the this, and we did the I did
Did you do a swing list?
Oh, we did a lot of swings, a lot of swing, and it was fun. And yeah, like Johnny said, it's hard to believe that film is almost 30 years old. Crazy times. But anyway, we just wanted to check in with you guys and talk about cool. Delaware. Everybody's getting the green screen. It's the green screen.
What I said before we started. Maybe it's because we talk about it every other episode at least.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And have you guys ever played the point-and-click adventure game of Wayne's World?
I've played the Super Nintendo platformer game of Wayne's World.
It's not as good. The point-and-click adventure game of Wayne's World is way tight, and highly recommend that one.
I don't know about that.
But anyway, I don't know. What have you guys been watching? Vince, in the comments. McLean, what have you guys been watching right now? Everything's weird. You've been at home a lot. Been watching movies. I picked up and rewatched The Crow for no reason other than it was raining, and I was just like, yeah, I want to see Alexander Proyas because I didn't have the DVD of Dark City, which I really wanted to see, but I had the DVD of Crow, and so I was like, I'm gonna watch The Crow because Brandon Lee is super awesome, and that movie's great.
I don't know what he means by I need to get more friendly with Mike. That's a weird thing to say right there.
You got to get it up here.
Up in here.
Yeah, you're not used to the MC lifestyle of holding the mic. You got to get it. You got to point it at your mouth. You got to get it in there like this.
Don't say get it in there.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ooh.
While they're trying to figure out what they're talking about, what they've been watching.
The Wraith with Charlie Sheen. Is that what you're talking about? Is it the one, Johnny?
The Stuff. That's a good one.
Oh, The Stuff is great.
Yeah.
The Stuff is a good one. McLean's been watching a lot of cult classics. He says In the Mouth of Madness. That is a good one. 10. That is a good one.
A Price is Right thin mic would be super cool.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Some of those little Bob Barker mics.
Where you hold it way down at the bottom on the battery pack. Yeah, like 4 feet away.
So Johnny said yes to The Wraith. The Wraith is one of those. The Wraith was the Crow before the Crow. You're right, but way less cooler. I mean, it wasn't. Okay, I can't say it was less cool makeup because he was wearing that helmet and everything, and it was really kind of bizarre. But the Crow, the Crow really identified with an entire subculture of the 90s. It was such a 90s movie, and the soundtrack was so 90s. I mean, even Sting based his whole visual persona for many years off of The Crow.
Yeah, but Surfer Sting was the cooler Sting, man.
Because he was based off the Ultimate Warrior, and
actually, the Ultimate Warrior and Sting were a tag team when he was the Dingo Warrior, and
a dingo suplexed my baby.
So Steve Borden and the Warrior, he changed his name legally to Warrior.
That's dope.
Yeah. So his wife's last name became Warrior, but he was a single name person, just named Warrior.
So where did Ultimate come in?
Well, that was his character name, but he just made his name Warrior.
That's a baller move.
Yeah, but they were a tag team together, actually. So they both wore that same style makeup. They were both just absolutely jacked, and they were super cool as a tag team. So yeah, they wasn't based on him. They did that together, in fact.
Learn something new every day about wrestling hanging out with this guy. Yeah. But The Crow, man, that's a good movie. I don't care what anybody says. And
I would be that somebody. I've never liked The Crow.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, but I like better revenge movies like the Death Wish movies. Or that one where Charles Bronson's daughter gets attacked by the naked serial killer man. So he chases him down in the street, and all the cops, because he's a cop, find him. And they're like, don't do it. And he's like, tough shit. And just blows that dude away in the middle of the street, and the movie ends.
But you've never been emo before. So
That's
you don't
true.
understand how important The Crow was. I mean, it had music from Nine Inch Nails and The Cure. And
I've watched Little Nicky. That's pretty close. Bad hair,
dude, and guitar
dumb
playing,
music like P.O.D. is in it.
Dude, no,
same thing.
Not even the same.
Close.
And Winston from Ghostbusters, come on, he's in it, playing friendly cop. Come on, it's such a good movie. Y'all are dumb. Y'all don't know anything about the 90s. Y'all weren't even born in the 90s.
Why would you want to know about the 90s?
Because the 90s. In a time where
had Street Sharks, that was pretty jawsome.
They did.
Street Sharks is jawsome.
It was pretty jawsome. I think somewhere I still have the Moby Lick action figure, which was the most disturbing toy.
I have the Hammerhead, where you pull his fin back and his head punches people.
Well, Moby Lick had this enormous phallic tongue that hung out of his mouth, and he had a dial on his back, and his tongue would go. It was really creepy.
Well, because he was part of the second wave of characters. He wasn't even a shark.
So Vince says he just saw an early episode of The Office, and Dwight said his favorite movie was The Crow. I don't know if that's an insult or...
See, that's what I'm saying, man.
Crow rules. All of you guys are stupid, and it's a legit film. And it was it was one of the OG cool comic book movies. Yeah. Yeah, comic book movie. It was cool. All right, shut up. Yeah,
What about?
See, Johnny Dalton says anything that gives Ernie Hudson a paycheck.
Yeah,
Like,
because Ernie Hudson's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everyone likes
and he's
Ernie
fantastic in that. He teaches that little girl how to make a chili dog, and
Hudson. And then she runs like Sonic.
no, she gets on the skateboard. It's like it can't rain all the time, and then it's like meow, 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 and he's playing it on top of the rooftop. And the thing about that movie that's so cool is it's the visual style that Alex Proyas has. That it's like he built all these amazing sets, and he's like, man, we can't let these go to waste. And then he made Dark City using all the exact same sets, and that's why that movie's so cool.
Well, that's like Starship Troopers. The armor that they used in Starship Troopers, you can find it in like 10 other movies, repurposed.
You know, that's a little fun fact, a little drive-in Speakerbox fun nugget, is a lot of these sets get recycled over and over and over.
McClane coming in with the Lowell
OG
Abner.
comic book movie.
It wasn't a comic book, but a
It's a
comic,
comic
strip.
strip.
Yeah.
And
Flash Gordon was before that.
Al Cap.
There you go. Flash Gordon happened way before The Crow, and it was
I was
actually
just
a
saying
comic
one of
book.
the OG. It's back there before comic book movies
Batman,
were a thing.
motion picture.
But no, Lil Abner. Fun fact: I did voiceover for a. Well, it was a documentary about Dogpatch USA, which is right here in the Ozarks, which is a theme park about the Lil Abner comics. That was a fun project I did a long time ago, but I know a lot about Lil Abner. Lil Abner and the mayor of the town, Mayor Rufus T. Cornpone, which is one of my favorite comic names ever because it's
Cornpone.
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 Like cornpone is a food, a cultural, a cultural food way cuisine from the Ozarkian South. Or it's like mushed up cornmeal, and it's kind of like grits, but cornpone. Anyway, what are we talking about? We're just talking about shit that we know. Johnny Dalton says The Shadow had a few films in the 40s.
Speaking of things that people know, only the Shadow knows.
He knows what evil lurks inside the hearts of men. The Shadow knows. I used to listen to those radio dramas when I was a kid. My Nana had some CDs on the Time Life CDs of like the X Factor and Twilight Zone, like all these audio like from the 30s and 40s that were really tight.
You know what a great costume for quarantine Halloween would be? The Shadow, because he just wears that red
bandana
mask over his face.
You'd have to get a big fake like prosthetic nose, just like he wore. Vince asks, "You guys didn't like the show Ozark, right? I haven't started it. I watched all of it.
Yeah, I've never attempted to watch it. I like Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's super cool, but every time a TV show or movie is set here or anywhere near here, it's very wrong. Does not portray us well at all. Everyone's a hick or a hillbilly or a redneck or everything that it's been since the Arkansas Traveler was first published. The painting in the song, not the newspaper.
This is college newspaper.
Yeah.
Well,
but
so I'm going to chime in here while I have watched all of Ozark, all 3 seasons. I didn't hate it. There were some characters I really didn't like. There was some storylines I didn't really like, and it's all filmed in Georgia. So all the flyovers where they do the establishing shots are of the Lake of the Ozarks, but literally everything else is in Georgia.
yeah, because Georgia and the Ozarks are very similar.
But they do it for taxes. They do it because
Yeah,
in Georgia they get like 33 or 30. I think the current tax incentive for film industry in Georgia is like 32%. So
Just like in both versions of True Grit, Fort Smith and Oklahoma look eerily like the fucking Rocky Mountains, which is not at all how that works. And even in a video game where they can make any kind of background or scenery they wanted, I can't remember the name of the series right now. It's about Mexican gold and brothers, and I'll figure it out in a minute.
talk about the old Ennio Morricone movie.
No. This is a video game series, but they choose to make Fort Smith just flat and desolate, and there's nothing there but dirt. And then as soon as you're 2 minutes outside of town, it's extreme mountains and redwood trees. And you're like, no.
That's because producers in LA and New York don't know what the rest of the country looks like. And I've dealt with these people. They have no clue. And just like Johnny says in the comments, it's like, he doesn't care for fake Southern accents in general. And that's something like when you live in the South and you know what an Alabama
Show
accent.
your seals.
Oh God, Hurricane Heist. I mean, we say that a lot on the show, but That one was notoriously bad for bad Southern accents, except for the Australian guy.
The dude from a whole other country.
You know, he nails it. What's his name? Jason. Jason, True Blood Jason. That's Jason Stackhouse. I don't think his name's Jason at all, but he's Jason Stackhouse from True Blood. And again, True Blood has some really bad Southern accents because Louisiana has a different accent than Alabama has a different accent than Georgia has a different accent than Florida has a different accent than the Carolinas,
Arkansas
than
and
Arkansas.
Tennessee and Kentucky.
There's all, you know.
But everyone tries to make us sound like that little kid. Can I pet that dog?
Yeah, it's like, I like the way you talk.
Well, I like the way you talk too. Mm-hmm.
It's like
Well,
the
but
Sling
Billy
Blade.
Bob, he's from Arkansas, but still.
Carl actually is from the South.
You know that they were like, you don't sound Southern enough. He's like, I'm
shut
from Arkansas.
Shut your mouth or I'll put a sling blade in it. This is what we talk. It's how we talk like.
And I killed him. I did.
I killed that man. I sure did.
Great
I like
character.
Biscuits and mustard.
Yeah, dude. That's Vince said True Blood. Ryan Quanten. He actually does a pretty damn good Southern accent
Compared to everyone else in that movie. We know you're in here. Show yourself.
Show yourself. You know, and McLean says L.A. producers scare me. They are not human. I will attest to that. Most of them aren't. I've dealt with a lot of them in my life. And, you know, most of them are more concerned about, like, okay.
New York, too.
Real, true life boom operator confessions here. I was working on a shoot a while back with some LA producers, and they were only going to be in town shooting this scene. It was 2 days, right? They're flying in the evening, and since I live around here, I went ahead and picked them up. And they didn't know that I was the location mixer for the day, so they just thought I was just some production assistant picking them up from the airport. But I was like, dude, if I can get a whole day rate from picking up some assholes from the airport, gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I did, and I was driving them back, just like minding my own business, and hearing them talk, and they were just like getting so pissed that there were no restaurants that were vegan, gluten-free, and that one of their
You're in the South. Like, it's not going to happen.
well, and then they were also, one guy was like losing his shit because he had already booked a yoga appointment for tomorrow, but now that the shoot schedule was getting pushed, I'm like, dude, you're going to be here for 43 hours total. And you're like, oh, my yoga appointment and my vegan dinner night. And like, that was their priority. And at the end of the shoot,
if you've ever wondered why movies are so expensive,
dude,
because
it's that.
within 2 days, 8 of those hours combined need to be spent with yoga and vegan dinner.
Oh man, because those are the above the line crew members, and they were, you know, it was really funny because a lot of people go out to LA and a lot of people go out to New York not because they're talented and that's just what you do when you have talent. They go out there to get more work because. And I kid you not, a lot of people just now have post office boxes that's where their business is located. So they're like, hey, you know, so-and-so production company, we're based in L.A. And they have a P.O. box and a phone number in L.A. that just forwards it to, you know, Delaware. And, you know, that's how they operate. But a lot of those people that go out to L.A., they don't know shit. They're just going out there faking it till they make it. And these guys were no different. They came in, and we have some really talented filmmakers here in Arkansas. We have a lot of talented crew people. We have a lot of talented, just crazy amounts of talent.
Yeah, we've had filmmakers from around here on the show.
On the show.
For movies.
And so what happened in the shoot was they one of their like DPs was rolling on some clips, not knowing what the hell he was doing. We were having to pick up a lot of the pieces, some of us local guys, and then he wasn't rolling on his camera on a certain thing. And the sound team, it was me and another guy because we had an A and a B unit. I was A unit, and this other guy from Little Rock was B unit. And we had all of our daily sound reports done. We had all of our files. We had all of this kind of stuff. And when we submit all of our stuff, they were like, "Oh, that sounded really cool. We love the scene. Where's the video? Where's the video to this?" And the DP, the LA DP, blamed the Arkansas crew. But the reality of it was he didn't actually roll on his camera. But the Arkansas crew, we know what we're doing, and we kept backups on top of our backups and reports and logs. And then he tried to blame the Arkansas crew for being incompetent because we're in Arkansas and we don't know.
Dumb
They don't know
rednecks
what
from
they're
the South.
doing. And then I was like, actually, here's all of our reports. Here's my data tracks. Here's my timestamps. Here's my this. Here's my that. And I'm pretty sure he just didn't hit record. And then, that dude got in a lot of trouble because he tried.
Good.
Yeah. A-State, all my homies in the A-State film industry represent. We show them what it's up. I don't even know if that name makes sense, but whatever. Let's see. What do we got, Vince? Were they rude to you? Of course. Well, a lot of times, it's always the first couple of days. It's always the first couple of days where they're just like, oh, everyone here is a cretin. Do you know what books are? Have you read a book? Do you know what a smoothie is?
Yeah, on the one or two that I've been involved in, all of the people from LA and or New York have not been the easiest people to get along with because they're very vocal about their displeasure with their local surroundings.
Yeah, that's true.
Including the people that they're telling it to.
But that's not all of them. So, that's not a blanket statement. I've worked with some really amazing people. So, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there was one shoot where the director was very cool, but for some reason she let her ADs and all of those people just run over her, and all of them were real douchers. But she was very nice. I liked her quite a bit. Yeah.
So Vince said he meant that especially since he thought that I was just the driver. And yes, when I was driving the car, I tried to tune in, and they're like, and then when they saw me again on set the next day, being head of a department, they're like, oh, hey, and I'm like, oh, you already showed your stripes.
He's not just some butthole PA.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you shouldn't treat your PAs like that because PAs are important.
And they have access to your food.
They do have access to your food, as we now know is essential. Anyway, Tony on the YouTube comment says, using this time to intro my 10-year-old son into some 80s gems, Explorers. Oh, dude. Communal Dreams. Like, what is that? That movie is so amazing because it's all these three teenagers, or not even teenagers, but they're lucid dreaming, and they're thinking about, dreaming about this girl, but it's secretly plans from Mars to build a spaceship from Martians to go into space. What an amazing movie that is. Young River Phoenix. Oh.
Look at this, though. Look at everything else he has. That's
Big.
all you. That's all you. Big,
Dude,
Clue,
I wish
Burbs,
I were big.
Lost Boys, Baron von Munchausen.
Dude, all of them.
Look at that.
Yeah, so Big, again, a Tom Hanks classic. Or, I mean, what other, 12-year-old's dream is it to touch a grown woman's naked boobies in his bunk bed?
And get paid for
get
playing with toys.
Like,
and
that's
chopsticking
That's
on
the movie.
big old keyboards.
Yeah, right down to the flowers. Anyway, Zoltar machine, shout out. I wish we were in the studio because we have the little Zoltar.
Yeah.
Clue again.
Zoltan.
One of the first movies, Zoltar. Zartan. You're thinking G.I. Joe Zartan.
No, dude, I'm thinking Zoltan from Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, from Dude. Yeah. So many Zolts. Shout outs to all our Zolts out there, our mighty Zolts. But yeah, Clue, one of the first movies with multiple endings on the DVD.
Well, not just the DVD. Actually, Clue, when it was released in theaters, different locations had different endings. So if you were in one city and your friend lived the next city or county over, they would have seen a different ending from you, so that when you talked about it, you're like, no, what? Because the ending was different. And then when they showed it on TV, or if you owned it on home video, you got to see the multiple endings. The only thing I didn't like about that is that it always said, but here's how it really ended. I didn't like that. I like
just go all in on it.
Yeah.
He also said his son fell asleep during Dream a Little Dream, probably for the best. That's one of those back in the heyday of the Coreys, the Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Dream a Little Dream was kind of an oddball movie, and I'm pretty sure there was a sequel, Dream a Little Dream 2, which I also wouldn't really recommend, but it's interesting viewing.
Also, don't let him watch Requiem for a Dream.
No, he should have. Instead of letting him watch Dream a Little Dream, you should have let him watch License to Drive. Now,
that's a good one.
That's a good Corey film. If you're wanting to get down that Corey train. But anyway, let's see. Vince says, blah, 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 going down. Using this time to find who the big up-and-comers are. It's.
Yeah, like Charlton Heston in the background there.
Yeah.
One of Bo's up-and-comers.
All right. Well, I know, I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want to take too much of our producer's time because we had initially say, hey, we're just going to do a 20-minute shout-outs. But, when we really get into the comments, we can just keep doing this all night.
Yeah, because I mean, they're why we're here and doing all this.
They
and
are.
Everything. Talk to you guys.
Oh, Johnny watched Return to Oz in daycare when he was 4. That's kind of a frightening movie to watch when you're 4 years old. Obviously, it left a very lasting impression on him because that movie is not really for kids.
Yeah, Oz is all about like prison rape and trading people for cigarettes and.
Yeah, that's a different Oz, dude.
I mean, that's kind of the joke, right?
Oh my gosh. But quarantine is weird because it's really, you've got a chance to, like Tony just said, you get a chance to share all these movies with a captive audience, which is, you get, and it's fun sharing movies with people that have never seen these movies and they're great movies. And you get to kind of vicariously rewatch these movies through new eyes. And as long as you're not one of those people that's like, yo, okay, here it comes. Here's the good. If you're not me, basically, you don't. It's a lot more fun. But dude, sharing good movies with people is great. And now we have this great opportunity to really open people's minds to cool old movies because now people are so bored and they want to watch all these movies. So maybe they'll read freaking subtitles.
And
now.
you know what else you can do too? Right now on our Facebook page, which you can link to there at the bottom of the screen, we are doing that like 1 of 10 goofy post the movie picture challenge. But each of us are posting those. You could reverse image search or just play the game and see if you know. And if you don't know, reverse image search it and then watch that movie. There's some good ones up there. So
I'm sorry. I'm in the comments, and Vince made me snort here. He said he saw Return to Oz in the theater. He will always remember that he went with a little girl he had a crush on, and after the movie, she pooped her pants going down the slide in the McDonald's playland. Classic. That is a good memory. A little MC poop pants.
well, and Johnny too coming in. He has a good plan here, having his kid watch RoboCop at 5 years old, just like he did. You know what? My parents always told me
Are you going to eyes open, not cover your kid's eyes when that dude's peckerhead gets shot right out of his pants?
the guy deserves it, and you need to
He does.
learn young that ain't okay.
That ain't okay.
And that's what happens if you're like a dirty rapist, man.
You get your penis head blown off by RoboCop.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't move, creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then ultimate theme music comes in. Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know if there's theme music ever cooler than RoboCop. Yeah, it rules.
It's a really good one, dude.
Yeah.
Paul Verhoeven, yow, always hitting those awesome score notes. Johnny says it was a straight slide or one of those twisty ones. Oh, yeah, we don't want to know. We don't. I mean,
At McDonald's play place,
poop,
man.
poop, poop slide. And that's a thing. What's going to happen post COVID-19 when these play places open up and your kids are running around in ball pits and doo-doo poopy pants
They're
slides?
gonna have like
what's going to happen? Like a water slide where instead of spraying water, it's just sanitizer.
Yeah,
and-
Lysol or something. I was
Yeah.
gonna say they're gonna have like a sprinkler system, but just every like so often, like 3 to 5 minutes, it just unleashes like bleach.
Gross. And kids are just corpses of kids are falling out of the.
No,
the end
man,
of the
you're
slide.
supposed to inject that and then go get
Oh,
yourself a
that-
healthy dose of UV rays.
That's right. President's orders.
That's what I did yesterday. I rode my motorcycle all day long, chose not to wear sunscreen so that I just got totally wrecked by UV rays because I ain't about that COVID. And then I had a whole big old swig of bleach with a Lysol chaser. I feel great, man. Ain't no COVID up in her. I didn't have any needles ready to just full on inject it, so I did the next best thing.
Dude. He didn't really do this, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
Those
I
were-
didn't do any of that. I actually wore 70 plus because I care about myself. I don't want melanoma, and you're not.
Shout outs to pasty white skinned boys.
Yeah. Also, I don't tan well despite genetics. The rest of my family does quite well. And I did not ingest any kind of cleaner or sanitizer, but instead had a beer on the ride and a Coke when I got home.
Beer on the ride. Won't advertise that.
When you sit for like an hour,
Okay.
guy,
Okay.
calm down. It's not like I'm throttle one hand, beer in the other.
Yeah. In the comments, they asked if we ever played the RoboCop arcade. Yes, it's one of the hardest video games known to man. The arcade version is painfully brutal.
We
and
actually have that at one of our local arcades.
Arcade
retro.
Retrocade
Yeah,
has
yeah.
RoboCop. Patrick Murphy says RoboCop gave me nightmares when I was 8. You and a lot of any Paul Verhoeven movie that, because everyone's like, oh, this is a fun action adventure. Let my kid watch it, and then Arnold's over there going, oh, my brain, oh, 3 titties, and then RoboCop's like, oh, penis, blah 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 blah.
What's
and
funny about that is like these are the movies that I grew up with. I'm like, oh, what's the matter with those
Starship Troopers, like brain plug, needle in the thing, titty shower
Yeah.
scenes. It's just like, dude, Paul Verhoeven.
I
no
was
holds
watching like
barred, dude.
heavy metal and Paul Verhoeven movies, and I'm like, what's the big deal?
What's up? I mean, we turned out okay, right? Right? Yeah, really, really, really fun times. Johnny says, a great time to bring back the Super Soaker 50. You remember, what was the movie? Was it The Boy Who Could Fly, where it was like a young Fred Savage on a 3-wheel deal, and the bullies kept coming around and picking on him, and so one day he filled the Super Soaker up with pee, and then the bullies were like, all right, give us your lunch money, you little dick, and he like pumps it up and sprays them like, oh, what is this? He goes, it's not water, it's piss, and then they're like, and I think that was The Boy Who Could Fly. Anybody? I don't know. My brain sometimes I just remember.
There's lots of movies that
Yeah.
are cool about getting back at bullies, like Neverending Story. You have Falcor dump them into a dumpster.
Dumpster full of paper shreddings.
Yeah, or you can pretend like there's nasty things in there. You
Should have
have
been, like razor blades and a dead hooker.
yeah, and poo poo. And then you have
The
the
girl that Vince went on a date with, her pants, her poop pants are in the
Yeah.
dumpster.
4-year-old doo-doo britches. You have like the Paper Brigade, where Freddy Krueger just unleashes with paintball guns on bullies that put $5 of gas in my car.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of $5 gas, you could put a lot of gas in your car right now for $5.
You can.
Shout out to oil prices. Like, what?
Yeah. Suck it, Russia and Saudi Arabia trying to raise these prices and it backfiring.
Yeah, dude.
$0 a barrel, baby.
Hey, man,
The barrel
just-
costs more than the oil.
Dude, give me some barrels. Can I just have some barrels of crude, please?
Dude, now's the time. Just fill it up.
Be
Keep
like
it in
some-
your garage.
We'll be some Ozark Beverly Hillbillies. Have some bubbling crude in our
Oh,
in our backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
So Vince said he looked it up and it was The Boy Who Could Fly. See.
We should just make a
Bonos.
list of like Fred Savage things to watch, like the
Oh, like
Princess Bride.
Yeah, dude.
Watch all of the Wonder Years and hate yourself after, like I did when I was a child,
Yeah.
because I was like, "You motherfucker, you didn't wait on Winnie." You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, Winnie Cooper. Of course, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, she went to Africa," and he's like, "Hey, this is my family that I had without you."
Oops.
Yeah,
Yeah, way to go, Fred.
idiot.
Cha. Anyway, man, quarantine's weird.
And then watch Ben Savage in
Boy Meets World.
hell yeah, dude, Eric.
No,
Yeah, Will Friedle's awesome.
that I just couldn't get over.
He's Terry McGinnis.
Just can't get over
Yeah.
the savage
Yeah.
genealogy hairline.
Yeah, he's also Kim Possible's friend, Ron Stoppable.
Ron
Will,
Stoppable.
yeah, Will Friedle's the voice of Ron Stoppable and Terry McGinnis, and everyone knows Terry McGinnis is the coolest boy of the future.
Man,
Suck it, Static Shock.
hey, Static Shock. is
Static
cool.
Shock's cool. Hey, he becomes the leader of the Justice League. Static Shock is the leader of the Justice League, but Terry McGinnis is just too cool. No, in like the real future, they show in Justice League Unlimited.
We got DC talk going on in here now. They're gonna be talking about Black Lightning and Static Shock and a cosplay podcast.
Like we just show up dressed as the guys from the Stone Age, or like
I need to like do more push-ups to fit in cosplay outfits. Otherwise, I'm gonna show up on some Google Reddit thread of like, look at this fat piece of shit dressed
We
like
could- we could-
Spider-Man.
we could be Fat Thor. That's
Oh.
Fat Thor's everyone's easy go-to cosplay.
Easily fall into Fat Thor. Yeah, it's man. I don't know. I it's hard to like want to start new hobbies in COVID. You know, I'll churn through Star Trek. I've played a little Xbox. I've cooked more than I have in a long time, and
Vince is such a big hater on me. We you know what? We did a sound test before this. I'm trying here, guy. Oh yeah, see, weak microphone here.
I also have truth be told, Vince, I have a whole lot more practice speaking on a microphone.
That's true. I normally have the headset. We have them in place. It's all set and good. But instead, I'm here Magic Mike, and apparently, so get it, Magic Mike.
Yeah, he's.
Oh no, it's empty.
He emptied his box of Coors.
I can bring you a box. I owe you. I owe you beer. No.
Well, what do you got to do tomorrow?
Work. I'm an essential worker.
I mean, it's true. Yeah, all workers are essential.
Brought to you by Please Wash Your Hands.
Yeah, especially if you're going to go out. If you're going to go out anywhere, like, and this is a conversation I had with my with our city, because I'm a city leader now, I guess, and I'm on this task force for small business resiliency and all those kind of, you know.
Do you get a bulletproof vest and like a 3-point harness?
I wish. But one of the things that I think is interesting and applies to this podcast and applies to our conversation is, you know, when we are done with COVID, when everything is open again, like, sure, we can open things, but how do we as a people, how do we as an audience, a moviegoer audience, like, what I don't want to see is everyone's like, well, I guess the theater experience is going to change. No, the theater experience is important. They're like, I guess it's going to be streaming bullshit on your cell phones forever, which means a lot of discussions happening right now because consumer confidence is at an all-time low. Like, people aren't just going to go running out to the theaters again and sit in seats that have been sat in by strangers, sitting next to a stranger, like literally this close, like eating popcorn.
Well, but with everyone acting like news about washing your hands is new to them, so many people are going to go right back into old habits and act like nothing's different, though.
But not all the people, and a lot
sure,
of the
enough to affect it.
A lot of the budgets are set with numbers that we've been experiencing pre-COVID, and a lot of that bottom line is measured off of those things. So, you know, theaters operate. You know, you're like, oh, $20 popcorn, what the fuck? And it's like, it's $20 for a reason, so they can keep the
because
theaters
you need it
open and alive. And you know, I've been reading a lot of stories and a lot of reports because. Especially small films, independent films, but even big studio films rely on the box office to offset the cost of production. Because when it gets to streaming and it gets to VOD and on demand, here we go. Getting a little Batman shot here from the producer. There we look at this.
I got me a little bit of Terry McGinnis going on too.
Yeah, I got a Batman shot glass. All right, well, if you've got a drink at home. If you've got some VSOP, the good stuff. Let's cheers to the movies. Let's cheers to back here.
Remember when y'all?
All right, here we go. Down the hatch. Oh yeah, VSOP. Oh, so smooth. Thank you, sir.
Preach.
But what I'm saying is you know, a lot of people think that, just streaming, it'll just all be Netflix, it'll all be on demand. And that's not the theater experience, you know. And from a financial standpoint, it's not the same either. So, you know, the interesting thing that could come of this is, unless, you know, you rely on, say, Disney Plus, and like, oh, well, Marvel movies will only be available on Disney Plus. Like, how shitty does that sound? Like,
they ain't gonna make billions of dollars by only having it on Disney Plus.
That's right. And so what that means is budgets are going to go lower. If people are not going to the theaters, or people are not spending, you know, $20 to $30 for on demand after COVID, and not going to the theaters to spend $10 a ticket, you know, that Avengers 25 or whatever the hell it is you think is so important, it's not going to have a $300 million budget, because they're like, well, how are we going to recoup this cost? So budgets are going to go down, which, I don't know, could be a good thing for indie films. I don't know, but I still think that the theatrical experience is really important to preserve.
Yeah, maybe they'll cut back on producers and directors and cinematographers being able to set up yoga appointments and vegan dinners and not spend any of their time actually Movieing.
McLean asks, "Can you share some of these articles?" Yeah, I can post these on the Drive-In Speak. If that's something that you guys would like, I don't want to like hit everybody's feed with a lot of content to ignore. But if you guys want the stuff, the Drive-In Speakerbox page can get a little bit more active, sharing these things that I read and the things that I find interesting, like the 10 movie challenge or whatever that we're both doing on our Drive-In Speakerbox Facebook page right there.
Yeah, I could start just posting things that I would normally just send to you, or to our little end thing, like, oh, look at this about movies. We can make that more public, I guess. Yeah, I could make, instead of waiting a week and see if we remember and talk about it on the show, we could make
Just
it.
post it when we think about it.
Yeah.
I know that the more content you post than people, but that's always been one of my problems. That's one of the reasons we're not mega famous. Reason I've been doing this show for 15, 16 years and I'm not bigger than I am. It's because I don't like being one of those media whores. It's like, dude, if we're good, we're good. People are going to find out about us. People are going to share us. I don't want to be that person that's just like always in your face. Watch me, watch me, watch me. It's like, if you want to watch me, watch me. If you don't, whatever. That's cool. You're just going to be missing out on some really cool shit.
Yeah, like Johnny talking about. I can't remember names right now.
Which one?
Friggin' the Maverick.
Top Gun? Tom
Yeah.
Cruise?
Tom Cruise. There
How'd
we
you
go.
think of Tom Cruise?
I know. I had Tom and I couldn't remember Cruise. But like Tom Cruise is like, you might not like him, but if you don't watch it, you're missing out on some cool stuff, man.
Missing out on Risky Business. I was just listening to the film score to Risky Business, the Tangerine Dream. Shh, don't give me that look. Boogers in Risky Business.
That's true. We talked about that on the show. What, last week? Week
That's right.
before? Yeah. And
like Tangerine Dream, the score to.
dude,
to
if we're
Risky
talking
Business
about
is
cool music
so good.
in movies that the guy that played Booger is in, let's not forget Revenge of the Nerds, where clap your hands, everybody, and everybody just clap your hands.
And oh wait,
With
there's
Poindexter
there's
and
the keys where it
yeah,
goes,
Poindexter's on the keys. Yeah.
wait. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
How did you remember that melody from
I
that
don't know.
song?
That's
But yeah, they're like,
yeah.
hands, everybody.
Everybody clap your hands.
Yeah, that's a bop.
And then didn't they do another like stage performance
they
in
tried.
Revenge of the Nerds too?
Yeah, I
on
think
that
they tried
island?
when they were in
And it was-
Florida.
and
Yeah.
then- I don't know. I always like that. So after seeing Revenge of the Nerds 2, that was what inspired me to want to go to Branson and ride the ducks. Is because I
Oh,
saw
what?
them.
You didn't just want to ride the ducks?
No, dude, not until they got the jocks dropped them off on that stranded like desert island, and then they found like that World War II bunker of supplies, and then down inside there was a duck, and they're like, oh, dude, and then they drive that duck into the water, and then they cruise into the bully jockos like party, and they're all dressed out in like cool World War II shit, like and I was like, I want to get on a duck.
Ogre was a nerd in Revenge of the Nerds too, so they had Big Ogre with him.
Lambda.
Yeah,
y'all.
you know what though? When I was a kid, I got to drive one of the ducks at Branson. I got to operate the vehicle.
Hell yeah.
It was sick because.
Be thankful you didn't kill 19 people like the other duck.
Okay,
that
wow.
happened.
Why you
Yeah.
got to bring up old shit, man?
Sorry.
I think the ducks are super cool. I've always wanted one. Growing up, being the son of like a dude that's obsessed with history and World War II, I always thought ducks and
Amphibious vehicle.
half tracks were the two coolest things ever.
I was always
I
really sad
still
that the
want
G.I.
a
Joe
duck.
bridge layer wasn't an actual real thing.
Well, in Batman, the Batman crawler thing from Batman Begins, it's like,
The bridge layer was.
yeah, that was its whole purpose. Remember, it was like
Super cool.
jetpacks over ravines to make
The
bridges.
bridge layer like carried a bridge and dropped it over, and everybody else could. I had that.
That
toy.
was a real British used things
Really?
like that in World
Oh,
War
that's
II.
tight.
Yeah.
Vince asks. He says he was having a conversation with someone. If you could only choose 4 movies that would sum up Tom Cruise's career, which would you choose?
Ooh.
I'd say number
Mission
1
Impossible.
No. Number 1, Legend.
Oh yeah, Legend's so good.
Got to start at the beginning. Then I would say
He
number
w-
2, Top Gun, because
Legend-
that's when he's at his peak.
Legend came after a couple of movies, but
But Legends Legend had made its mark.
yeah,
you know?
Legend's really
It was very
fucking
impactful.
good.
So you'd go Legend to Top Gun, because Top Gun was like right when he was like this apex of I'm a young upstarting action person. That solidified him as an action person. And then I would probably go to Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And then after Mission Impossible, you just have to go to
The Mummy.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, what a fall from grace. Because you
No,
don't wanna
no,
end-
no, no, no.
You don't want to end on Jack Reacher because that's a high note.
Ooh, Jack Reacher. The first one is so good, but Jack Reacher, never go back. Never go to that movie. Oh, Rain Man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Rain Man's good, but yeah, I'm thinking summarizing his entire career. Those were like these phases.
Ooh,
these high
okay.
points.
I know the fourth one.
Okay, you do your fourth. You do your
No,
fourth.
no, no, no.
Those are
I just
my-
know what the fourth one is.
Not Mummy.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Magnolia.
Yeah, but Tropic Thunder.
Because Magnolia, that was the character. That was that crazy weird. It was based off of in Tropic Thunder. Was based off the performance they did in Magnolia.
Oh, but
Yeah.
was there a fat suit in that movie?
No, there wasn't.
Rest
But
my
it was
case.
this like big loudmouth asshole character. You didn't. That was the first time you really saw Tom Cruise as that sort of person. But the Tropic Thunder, because that character existed
That's- yeah.
outside of Tropic Thunder. Even that character made appearances in other forms of media.
By name or just?
In the fat suit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember the name of that character, but yeah.
Yeah, we know, Vince. The Mummy is just a joke there for sure.
Oh, he was just for a great career. I mean, so okay. I mean, the first three still remain the same. But then,
Yeah.
I would say Magnolia or Tropic Thunder or.
See, I like Rain Man just because it has such a broad range in that character alone. Because he can't stand his brother. He hates that he has to spend time with him, but he truly cares about him. There's comedy, there's drama, there's everything in that one role. I think that Rain Man, more than anything, showcases a range of acting.
Would you do Rain Man? Would you do Rain Man in lieu? So Legend, Rain Man, Mission Impossible, because you're pulling some of that.
You have to have Mission Impossible just because.
I'm saying Mission Impossible in lieu of Top Gun. So you go
Ooh.
number one Legend, number two Rain Man, because I'm going in chronological order. You get Rain Man instead of Top Gun, then Mission Impossible.
Oh. Well, if you're doing it that way, maybe just because Top Gun's very iconic in its scenes and catchphrases and things like that. Him selling the Ninja as a motorcycle. That's how that motorcycle was successful, is Tom Cruise. There you go. Just like the Fat Boy Softail Harley Davidson was
Terminator 2.
introduced in T2 before it was available to the public, so
Yeah.
that as soon as it hit, it was big time sales because everyone's like, I want that Schwarzenegger bike.
But don't do
But-
what he did on it because that was a custom shocks package.
I would jump off into the LA River.
Don't do
Also,
that.
it was a stunt man. Yeah, don't do that. Maybe, because Top Gun until not yet is still currently a one-off, whereas Mission Impossible is a series that has so much going on in it. And every Mission Impossible is so much fun. If that's something for quarantine, that's what you should do. Marathon, Lethal Weapon, and Mission Impossible. Those are the two series that just do it.
I'm not going to disagree. Contrary to what people might think that I would hate the Mission Impossible movies, I don't.
Same.
I like them.
Same, because I just sat down and
They're fun.
they even
They do exactly what they're supposed to do.
be awesome.
I mean, John Woo really set something into motion. If you want to get weird and go on a John Woo marathon, go back into the hard-boiled days. Go back into the Chow Yun Fat days.
Ooh,
You wanna see-
definitely do the Chow Yun Fat.
Yeah,
because
early Chow Yun Fat, like Hong Kong pistol operas, like back in the '90s. John Woo was doing things in action movies that really set the bar. No, I fixed it.
all right.
He really set the bar on how people film action films, and John Woo again responsible for the first couple of Mission Impossibles. No, it was me. I had hit the mute button by accident on my mic. So we should be good.
Yeah, anything Chow Yun Fat's always going to be a win. Tony coming in for our Fred Savage bit saying Little Monsters.
Little Monsters is,
Yeah,
is another
actually,
good Fred Savage. If you want to go for our Savage Movies Festival,
Go a
that
second
would
step
be-
there and watch anything with Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel has great
Pretty
stand-up.
Famous germaphobe.
You
too.
could watch. Oh yeah, there you
Bit of a
go.
hypochondriac.
You could watch Bobby's World. That's always a good time.
Yeah.
And then Vince asking Lethal Weapon and Mission Impossible over Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious is a given. They were actually running a Fast and Furious marathon this Saturday, and that is how I spent a good portion of my day was watching. They did Fast and Furious 1, Too Fast, Too Furious, and then Fast and Furious. So they did 1, 2, 4 in a row, and I sat there and watched all three of those while I did my laundry. So
What is wrong with you and your Fast and Furious?
they're good. They're fun. You can't say that you like Mission Impossible and then be like, oh, Fast and Furious is so dumb.
I can easily say that I like Mission Impossible and Lethal Weapon, and I think Fast and Furious is dumb.
How?
I just did.
Well, there's literally no difference except cars.
And content and quality.
Okay, yeah, because the face mask thing is total realism.
I'm not talking about realism.
Because Mission, Too Impossible with John Woo and all of his Dove bullshit and motorcycle stunts that's no different. And the knife fight at the end in the sand.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Fast and Furious is stupid.
Okay, yeah. Well, then I guess friggin' Booty is stupid too.
Point Break is an amazing. Catherine Bigelow won an Oscar. Thank you.
Fast and Furious is just a remake of that with cars. So
No.
yes, yeah.
There is no.
Dom is Booty.
No. There's no Keanu. There's no Patrick Swayze. There's no. There's
Swayze.
Swayze. There's no. You're wrong. It even has Anthony Kiedis in it from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, it doesn't have him for his 2-second cameo where he tries to put Keanu's face into a lawnmower.
Yeah, it was dope. Remember when like Flea and Anthony Kiedis were like in movies a lot?
Yeah, because Flea broke Marty's hand.
Yeah, it was Needles. Yeah, it was like, you're fired, Marty.
Fired.
Oh,
All
Needles.
the faxes.
Like, why would you have a boss whose name is Needles? You know?
Why in the future did houses get built with 20 fax machines in them?
Hey, because fax machines, dude, they're still in the future. It's 2020, and we still have to use fax machines.
Yeah.
Fax machines are never going to leave. But where's my rehydrator? I'm still wanting to get like
To make the pizza
to make
from
the Domino's or no, it was Pizza Hut. And how
Where's
they
my
they missed
floating-
the mark on that one. It should have been Domino's because Pizza Hut.
Where's my floating upside down machine?
Oh, no, fix your back.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Back to the Future. There it is. All right. So, guys,
We've gone over time.
we've gone way over time. We're gonna wrap this thing up.
This is what happens when we talk about movies.
It is what happens when we talk about movies. We hope that you guys have enjoyed it. We'll be back with normally scheduled stuff next week. We'll have more of a format. We'll have more of topics for you. I still am trying to figure out a way to get a watch-along movie, but copyright stuff right now, as you know, is really, really, really tricky. But I've got at least 4 movies picked out that I'd really love to watch along with you guys. That I know that you probably haven't seen, and you'll be like, "How did I not hear about this movie?" Because I'm really good at finding those. But like and subscribe. If you want to send us something throughout the week, hit us up on our Facebook at the Drive-In Speakerbox or YouTube.
Yeah,
What?
that's something. Come in, make posts, comments. Get us interacting with you. Do something
Because we want to.
fun there. Tell us about
Quarantine.
what you're watching. Ask about opinions of something you've seen. Play our little 1 of 10 day movie picture game thing
Yeah.
that we're doing. Yeah.
Doing it. So, yeah, find us out there on your Facebook. Find us out there on your YouTube. Like and subscribe. Share. Tell your friends. We're here for you on quarantine. We'll be back next Monday at 8 o'clock talking to you about movies. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.